didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't go to film school. I didn't do anything. I watched commentaries on DVDs, and I read a couple books. And out of all the books I've read, the only useful information I got out of any of them was if you're filming on location somewhere and you have to spend the night, take the spark plugs out of your actors' cars so they don't leave in the middle of the night. That's the only good advice I've gotten out of a book. So, yeah.
They didn't know who you were, but they knew that you were working.
Yeah.
So
appearing to work is better than anything because it makes you seem like you're in more demand than you are.
right.
So that's the best thing to say. I don't know a way to make that not sound like a scam, but it's
No,
Perception's reality is very true.
exactly. It's just however you're seen. Yeah, just do stuff. I mean,
I just want to do this shit.
because like every time I make a move, like Ghost Goggles is a pain in the ass. Like it's fun and I'm enjoying it, but it's a fucking, it's like a 12 or 13, it's like a 13-day shoot, and I'm used to shooting stuff in like 4 days, like 3 days or 4 days or something like that. Because I know what I want, I know how the movie's gonna cut together, I don't shoot more than I need because I already know how the movie's gonna look. But when you're shooting for other people, they want coverage and coverage and coverage and coverage and do this and do that and all this other stuff. So it's really like trying on me. So I always have to make a movie for me after I make a movie for someone else. Because if any of you know anything about me, 2009 was when I made a bunch of movies that sound like porn. You know, like I did Vaginal Holocaust, Orgy of Blood, Caged Lesbos a Go-Go, Erection, Sexual Violence in Cinema, and then right at the end was Brides of Sodom. So it's like I made all of these movies, but these movies were for producers that I had this one company that liked what I did on one of them and kept hiring me to do more. So 2009, I've been trying to like so doing a kids movie right now is really cool because people are finally trusting me to not have a bunch of sex in a movie because, you know, so there was a point to that and I forgot what it was. So anyway, yeah. How's everyone else?
In regards to like doing new projects with, I guess, little to no budget and worrying about, I guess, the final product, do you think people respond more to quality of the story and what's written versus quality of the actual, like, what's filmed and sound and everything?
Sound is always going to be your horrible fucker that makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. Like, you could have the most beautiful looking movie in the world, but if your sound sounds like shit, everyone's going to think you suck. And if you're a director, the first person they point your finger at is you. No matter whose fault it is, oh man, that director sucks, his sound, whatever. But I think more than anything, story will supersede anything. If you have an amazing script with good actors, that will totally crush any special effects, any CG stuff, any hoopla that you throw into a movie, you know. But a good point, I guess. A lot of the times when I do something, I set a date. Like, I'm going to shoot this movie on February 4th, okay? I don't have any money. I sometimes don't even have a script, but I have a title, and that's what I'm going to do. And then I usually start casting before I write because I like to get people's mannerisms from them and just kind of see what kind of, how they act, how they respond to certain things to see what kind of things I can have them do and have it not look fake. And then I will usually try to find locations, or I will write with a location in mind already and then try to find money. So I do everything backwards, but it puts a fire under your ass when you know, oh shit, on February 4th I have to shoot no matter how much money I have. So at that point, if that's how you're gonna do it, you have to look at your script as a living, breathing creature that will always have parts of it coming off and growing. Like it's there's a lot of directors that are like, if I don't get this shot exactly like this on this, I'm not going to do this movie. I'm going to walk off set. I never get what I want out of a script. And I just go, okay, well, I'll just put that in the next one. You know, like, oh, this thing I didn't get a chance to do, I'll do that in the next movie. Like that gag or whatever. So don't be married to your script and know that it's going to change and it's going to be beyond your control, whether it's the kittens burned to death before they get to set, or the house you're shooting at, you don't have a permit for, and now you have to shoot the rest of the movie inside a school bus. You know, like everything will change, and you have to just know that that's going to happen and just be okay with it. Because if you don't, you're going to be that guy that, oh man, I have this movie I'm going to make, and blah, 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 and then 2 years go by, and you still haven't made that movie, and everyone's giving you shit about it. But the other thing, always have more than one. So if you have a movie made, let's say, and you're shopping it around, or you're showing it or whatever, have another script ready to go. Have something else. Even if you're just pitching scripts, always have more than one. Because if all your eggs are in that basket, and they don't like that idea, let's say, or they were okay about the film, but they want to see what else you could do, and you're like, oh, I don't fucking have anything else, then the conversation's over and there's no more reason to talk to you. So always have a couple different things. And try to keep your digital rights. Don't ever sign worldwide. And
why don't ever sign worldwide?
because you're not going to make any money in America unless you get like a actual, if you're making a movie, okay, let me start this over. If you're being hired to make a movie for a company, then you don't have any say in anything. If you're making a movie for yourself and like you're making this movie and it's a low budget thing and you don't have any names in it and you don't have anything really exciting to a distributor in it, you're gonna probably end up in some shitball deal probably that's like a 50-50 split or a 70-80, a 70-30 split or some kind of split. And if you do encounter a distributor that wants to actually give you an advance, you have to make sure that that advance does not have a stipulation on it that whatever costs they incur in replication or marketing or anything like that, that they're not going to bill you for. Because you could get a deal for one of the movies I did, we sold for $20,000 and then immediately started getting bills for a new marketing campaign, photo shoots, and all this other shit that ended up being like another like $9,000. So, and then if there are some companies too that will make you pay if you sign worldwide, let's say. So it's like a sales agent deal where they're going to Cannes or something to sell your film. They will charge you for their room and all the marketing materials for your film. So you have to make sure that it's not something that you have to pay for, that doesn't come out of your pocket, and that if it's a recoupable that they could legitimately claim, which they're all bullshit almost. Because you got to realize too, if you have a sales agent, he probably has 80 other titles he's taking with him to whatever place he's going to, and he's charging each one of them $300 per thing he's going to, plus $500 to $1,000 in marketing materials. But his booth and room are already paid for off of the first movie, so he's charging everyone the same amount. So recoupables are a pain in the ass, but it's a necessary evil for a tangible item or a sales agent scenario. So with that being said, why worldwide? If you take that shitty deal here, you still can make your money on the foreign markets. So as long as your movie doesn't cost more than, I don't know, if you're making a movie with nobody in it and your budget is more than $20,000 and it's your first movie, you should be committed to a mental hospital, because you're never going to be able to do anything. The first movie you make, know that you're not going to make any money on it. Know that it's not going to do anything but help you and boost you. And that could be said for maybe even your first 5 movies, depending on how the meetings go after that first movie's done. So if you are able to yourself attend foreign markets, there's like, AFM is right around the corner, in Santa Monica. That's a good place to be. Get a room. It's expensive as crap, kind of, but it's good networking and all this other stuff. You can turn over profit on your movie on foreign, because even if you sold your movie for $1,000, to every territory that you could find there, that's still probably, I don't know, 75 grand or something like that. So you could make up your money on foreign, but I would even say if you could keep your digital rights and do your VOD yourself on Amazon or iTunes or anything like that, and then if you were to go so far, this is probably too much information too quick, but my mind's racing. If you were to sign a deal with like, what is it, Gravitas or Gravitas? How do you say the name of that company? Gravitas. Is it Gravitas? Okay. They're like one of the biggest VOD companies, but what they're starting to do is they're starting to pass the costs onto the actual films that they're picking up. So like, let's say you sign a deal with them, they're going to want you to pay the Apple people to make the movie ready for iTunes. Now, Apple only will accept work from like 1 or 2 different quality control places. So they want you to pay that $2,000 for the film to get taken care of if you want Gravitas to push your film. So that they could do for you, you technically could do for yourself. You could get your movie on iTunes. You could get your movie on Amazon. If you're really snazzy, you could even get your movie on Redbox and Netflix if you wanted to. It's not hard. So the actual distributors themselves are taking on less of the burden of the costs that it takes just to make the movie viewable for all the different formats, because there's less people going that way because they could do it themselves. So if you want to make money on the first or second or fourth or fifth or however many movies you're in right now, I would say do VOD yourself, get it on Amazon, or at least on Amazon Prime, iTunes. Netflix, I haven't heard amazing things about. If you do an exclusive deal with Netflix, I heard that they pay a pretty decent amount up front. But anything going to Netflix, the deal you get on the back end with it's like 0.3 cents per view on streaming, and then that number disappears after so many months or something. I know every deal's different, and you could work whatever you want to do, but Redbox, I think, pays like anywhere from $2 to $4 per disc. And if your movie is a movie that they think will do well, they'll purchase more discs per box. And there's over 20,000 boxes nationwide, so you do the math on that, and that's not a bad deal as long as your movies are within a small budget, you know. And you could get name people in movies with no money, you know. It's possible, and you could do it, but yeah. So I'm rambling now. So
very good stuff.
what?
We're taking it in.
Okay, but I'm jumping parts. So what else?
Question, because you're talking like about the distribution and everything, but what about, you know, because now in the industry, I feel like I know it's true. You can't just be an actor or just a writer. Like you have to be many things. Yeah, at once.
That's the hat.
Yeah, and so when you first started, I know you said this is the first project that you're directing that you write.
Mm-hmm.
So you just started writing and you had no budget and you just made your first stuff with. Did you have a budget?
First
or like,
feature,
how'd you make
the
your
first feature
movie?
I made for $15,
Okay.
and it was the 3 HDV tapes.
Okay.
They were $5 a piece. That was the only thing I paid for on that movie.
How long was that? How long did it end up being?
The movie?
Yeah, the feature.
70 minutes. But that was the second.
You just were like, you just had an idea for a script that you thought would be cool, and you just wrote a script and then just got your tapes and started just filming whatever. Did you
Yeah.
have how did you, I want to know how you did this.
No,
It seems so simple to you, and to me
Well,
it's like the most complex thing anyone's
that
ever done.
film, because I had the band, and the band's like a horror rock, kind of goth rock kind of thing, and we were on this record label, and I was making music videos for my band, and then I started kind of dabbling with short films, but then the record label we were on acquired a film distribution company, and the record label wanted me to take bands that were on the label and start integrating them into the movies and start making movies for them.
Okay.
But then the label was a total piece of shit, and they were trying to fuck everybody out of everything. So I ended up not ever doing it. But they put the idea in my head.
Were they giving you the equipment and things that you needed?
No,
or
what
you
I
had your
did, the
own
first
stuff?
movie I did, I found a guy, I was up in Oregon, and I found a guy who owed $80,000 in student loans to the film department because he kept going into school and buying equipment. So he had all this equipment but no movies to shoot. And so he had all the equipment for the movie, and except for the tapes, and that was it. And there was this farm out in the middle of nowhere, but the movie is a Frankenstein movie with Frankenstein in the title, so the distributor picked it up without any guff, and that was my fastest selling movie, and it was the first movie I ever made that it sold out in pre-sales, and they had to make a second run, and I thought I was like the coolest guy in the world for like 5 minutes until Walmart. Here's another thing, until Walmart sent the returns in because they ordered too much. And when Walmart sends stuff back, they expect you to pay for it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So all the profit I was sitting on, all of a sudden I had to give a bunch of it back because they wanted their money back because they couldn't push 6,000 units in 3 weeks. So that kind of sucked balls.
So, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But so what? Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is,
Yeah.
I guess, what advice would you give to someone who?
There we
is-
go. I get your
who
question now.
Wants to start making their
you wanna
own
write
like
something?
shorts or features. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm not a writer. I mean, I
Why
will
are you
be.
not a writer?
I will be
Okay.
if I need to be.
No, you can't.
But right now I'm not.
But
Just
you're
say just say you are and then right later.
No, because like right
I
now.
want to be.
No, it's just
but I'm
like
not
it's
yet.
like talking to somebody. Okay, so look, I always like how everyone says like write what you know,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I like write what you have, like write what you have access to. So
Okay.
like if you, for instance, you're a bartender and you ride ponies, let's say that's what you do. Okay, you have access to a bar, you have access to a stable, you have access
So
to.
just incorporate that.
Yeah, so don't incorporate it.
movie
That's
about
what your
bars and
movie's
ponies.
about. Okay, that's what your movie's about. Like
Yeah.
I'm a bartender who
Okay.
is now possessed by a male model, and I ride ponies. Like just come up with something, you know. And then like, and if you ever find yourself exactly, if you ever find yourself in a like a writer's block, you know, like you can't get through something.
Yeah.
What did you do that day? I woke up and I got the mail, and my neighbor got pissed off because she said my dog peed on the concrete, and I'm trying to explain that my dog didn't. Okay? That just happened in your movie now. And now you go from there. Now what do they do? Oh, well, I have to go to Subway and lose my purse in about an hour and a half. What should I do? Okay? So now that's in the script. Now I'm going to Subway and I'm going to lose my purse. And there is where I'm going to meet the pony guy who has the thing with the...
So the writing, I'm not, I mean, I'm not afraid of that. I just think like for someone like me who like, I do like spokesmodel and acting and singing but I would like to start like making like whatever, even just like web series or shorts or anything. But to me, it's like this, vast, complex like thing that's like impossible to do, And then Derek, like, it was funny when you first started talking. You're like, oh, just do it, like, just start making things. And the last time when Tim was talking and Derek was, the last meeting, they said the same thing. They're like, you know what? Like, there are all these people who say they're a director, they say they're a writer. Like, you're not a director or a writer unless you've directed things and you write things. Like, go just do them, So I guess, like,
For sure.
to me, it's like this, really complex thing. But I want to learn, like, the beginning steps to make
Start
it happen.
backwards. Just like right now, look at your phone, set a date when you start shooting, and then figure out everything else tomorrow.
All right, sounds
But
good.
just set a date. Just set a date.
I mean, you
That's
have
pretty
this
easy.
entire network of people.
Yeah, exactly. Because and he's talking a lot about like distribution and all this, and that's like blowing my mind because I'm like, how do I like begin?
The thing you have
Not
to
like, how do I
understand-
sell it to somebody in the future? Like, what do I?
I know that a lot of
right
people
now?
think like there's just like there's so many movies out there, they're not gonna really want mine, blah 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 blah, and they'll always make you feel like they're doing you a favor. But especially when they do foreign markets, like with sales agents, they need to have new products every month when they go to these things, or else people will stop stopping by to see what they have.
Yeah.
So they need your shit way more than you need to give it to them.
Okay.
Okay, so just always keep that in mind
And
because
so
they always
it's
try to make it
possible,
feel the other way
From
around.
what you have told us here tonight, to make your own feature with $15.
Don't tell anybody that. You can do it. You can do it for less because now with like DLSR or yeah, I said that
Yeah.
backwards. Yeah, you don't need cameras. So I mean, you don't need tape. So if you have, you know, your SD cards and someone who knows what the fuck they're doing, you could do anything.
So
For
just
sure.
just start shooting.
Yes.
That you like.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
had a question
and
about-
then worry about the other shit later, I guess.
And I would say
Making
too,
some cards
keep your
Look
scripts
at my,
down.
my mind is blown.
Keep your scripts down.
He's like, start
Like
backwards and do it tomorrow.
don't like have like if you have a script that's like 110 pages or something or 120 pages, you know you're not going to get all of that in the final cut of a movie when you hand that off to someone, especially if it's like one of your first films. Know that you're not going to have more than 90 minutes probably. So and if you're doing like a page a minute, just don't write more than 90 pages. You know, if it's cheaper to cut stuff out of a script than it is to shoot for 4 more days. You know, so and a lot of writers and directors don't like to do that, but if you can do that, definitely pull it out.
And you said you do some acting stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So what advice about directing and acting in your own things at the same time, being the director?
Oh, that's easy because I know what I want, so that's not hard.
Okay.
But
But do you
Yeah.
recommend like? I mean,
if you could do it, but
Yeah.
but why can't you
But
do
why
it?
not? Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I started acting because I didn't want to have to pay another fucking actor.
Okay.
So
And you knew what you wanted.
Exactly.
And who's the easiest person to give it to other than yourself?
yeah.
Basically, you're saying
That
you
works.
can write something as you as the star and then just shoot it.
Well, yeah.
Starring Adina.
And you could be the executive producer and the writer and the editor,
Yeah.
You can
and then your IMDb page has like 30 credits, but they're all in the same movie.
That was the one movie. Yeah.
Been there,
My
yeah.
friends have actually done that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, how did you do that? And they're like, I just did it. That's
Yeah.
really, literally
Yeah,
what
that's
they
what
say.
they like.
I
That's
just
that's
did
I didn't
what
have
the people
anybody
who are
else, so
doing
I did
it
all
say.
myself.
They're like, oh, just
Yeah,
go
I
do
just
it. Like
did it,
it's so easy, and then you know what I mean. I mean, I guess in
It's
a way
like-
it is.
I
just
wanna say
when
it's-
you are on the outside looking in, it looks.
I
terrifying.
never knew I could make a movie.
Looks like
I was always
huge
told not to
project.
get into the business by my parents because that's a really hard thing to get into and you can't do that
Yeah.
because that's really hard and all this other stuff. And then when I made my first feature, it was almost on accident. And when I was done, I was like, oh my God, I made a movie.
Yeah.
And then it was just, I'm like, that was really easy. Let me do that again. And it's not that it's super easy, but it's not hard,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I mean,
I
it's
think
not like
fucking
I don't
working's
think
way
I can
harder.
do it. I just, yeah. Okay.
Did you always edit your own stuff?
No. I watched the first movie get edited, and then I started editing everything after that, and now I hate it, and I don't ever want to do it again.
Awesome. Do you use a specific program or?
I do Final Cut.
Oh, you just do Final Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, like that would be the thing, like getting everything together and having it run smoothly. Because you can have great material, but if you have a shitty editor, it's tough.
And if you're a girl, you can get people doing things for you a lot easier. So,
You and me, baby.
no, I'm just saying, like,
You and I, we're gonna take over Hollywood.
like Tim today bought her a sandwich and 2 cookies
And that's the opening.
because he wanted to, because he's a man and you're a girl. Okay? Or a woman, I'm sorry.
A nice person.
So I'm just saying, if you were to say to Tim, oh man, I need an editor for this movie, if Tim knew anything about editing, he would do it because you asked him to.
I have an editor friend actually, so I mean, like.
And you're going to ask your editor friend to do it.
I mean, he works for television.
And he's
he
gonna
does,
do
like,
it.
real edit- Yeah, he would totally do it. I'm sure if he had
Yeah.
time.
See?
But yeah, that's the thing. So it's just more about what all components do you need, you know, to like start and get it going. You know, like you have to.
You just have to want to do it.
You have to want to do it.
That's it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You need people who know what they're doing, like as far as sound and
They show up.
shooting. And
Don't hire a
acting.
sound person until like an hour before your shoot because they will quit. They will not show up. They will always ditch you for a better paying gig. They are the first people to run. They're the last people to hire. Do not hire them until like the day before your shoot.
So what about your movie that you made for $15? How'd you get your sound guy? You were just like, hey,
That was,
or that guy with all the credit and all the dues. He also had sound equipment.
He did have sound equipment, and you could get a Zoom recorder for like $150 and a boom pole for like $200 with a decent like Rhodes mic on it.
Whoa.
And
This
no,
just
but I'm
got
just saying.
way
You should
out
be
of
taking
control.
notes, babe.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you could rent it, but I mean it's super cheap
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
But
Or you could ask somebody in the L.
I mean,
or
just
on
do it.
the morning of your
What the
shoot,
hell?
the morning of your shoot, put an ad on Craigslist. Say, I have this much money. Are there any sound guys who want to do it? A bunch of people will write you and call you a bitch and like, how dare you? Da, 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 da. And then say, well, do you want to make money today or do you want to sit at home today?
Yeah.
I know it's not what you make on your fucking union projects and all
Yeah.
this other shit, but if you would like to make some money, you could do this and hang out with me because I'm a super hot girl. And blah, 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 blah. But they have no personality anyway because they're sound people. So, I'm sorry.
Creep, I've got a question that's beneficial to the group. So how many feature film credits did you say you had? 50?
On IMDb?
Well, in real
Well, I
world.
mean, I made like 50, yeah.
Okay. So, and how many years?
Since 2006.
Okay, so that's very, very impressive. That's a lot of credit. So,
Woo, woo.
Yeah.
this is very good. Give it up.
No.
So what advice can you give the group on getting a lot of work, maintaining work, and keeping a flow?
Don't be shitty to other people. Don't talk a bunch of shit. No, listen. Everyone here, at some point or another, will talk shit on everyone here, because that's the beast that we live in.
Nope.
Yes, you say it no, but it will happen because everyone will sell their fucking firstborn for a part or for a role or for a job and all this other shit. It happens. People get drunk. People say stupid shit. Just know that it's going to happen and be okay with that and not be a jerk about it. That's that. The other thing, I killed that fucking room. And then
We all love each other.
the other thing, though, is, well, I didn't mean everyone in this room because you guys are all
But
jerks.
eventually,
We're all,
especially when
we're
you're
all
working
human.
with people, you start to hate everyone. Doesn't matter how much you like them.
But if you are an actress,
Eventually,
actor,
everyone gets annoying after so many
actors, actresses, use all your social media shit, like your Facebook and your Twitter and all this stuff. Talk about fun stuff that has nothing to do about acting, and then post something about something you're working on. Like, oh my God, I skinned a chinchilla today. Ha ha. Oh my gosh, look at this thing that I did today and my job that I'm acting in. Oh my gosh, I had lasagna today. It was so good. Oh my gosh, I got to drive this super cool car in this
it's
job.
So true. Like, I
But
put, like,
don't
post
be
on
that
Instagram,
person.
People make like 100 comments,
But
and then
don't-
I post like, here's a new show I'm in, and nobody
But
gives a
do
shit.
not be don't be the person that all you do is post. Like, here's a picture of me acting.
Yeah.
I'm acting. Fund my goddamn Kickstarter thing. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Don't just do that. Be all over the place. Yes, exactly. Okay. I don't know if that helps,
Of course,
but
like you don't want like yourself like doing stuff like smoking drugs or anything like that with casting. Because
What?
casting directors.
What?
Casting directors.
did you say smoking drugs?
Drugs? I'm done, you guys.
Yeah.
Sit your ass back down.
We
You're
consider
not
this
done.
entire-
No, I'm saying like because I
Reconsidering
read
this
an
entire
article the
career,
other day.
what I was told,
They were saying
what
that
I've seen in
casting
history.
directors are starting to use social media a lot more to like look up like different actors that they may be working with.
Well, they
who
want to
actually
see
are,
too.
that they're not an asshole.
The first thing they're gonna do is IMDb you and see what you've done.
Right.
They'll check your Facebook and all that other shit just to see if you are popular. If like when you put a picture up, there's 1,000 stupid guys that are like, "Oh yeah, I like that picture." No offense, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying. No, but yeah, they're trying to see. They're trying to gauge what people say. Because if like you put up a picture and there's like one person that likes it and it's your mom, and then you have 3 comments that are like, "Shut up, bitch," you know, they're not gonna want to put you
They're
in
gonna be
something.
Like, I don't like this person.
Yeah,
but I'm saying,
exactly.
Like, as far as drugs, like, because
I don't
mean,
think that's a problem.
You're going to be a liability, and they're going to have to put insurance on you. Or
I've
something
never
like that.
seen that, but it's a good thing to.
But casting
do.
directors, they are really starting to use social media. Like especially, I lost a job to somebody who had more Twitter followers than me.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they're using that stuff.
But it's not about.
I'm not going to buy Twitter
But
followers.
back to the question, Creep.
Some people will hire you because you do smoke drugs.
But besides, guys, but besides not, no more talking about smoking drugs.
I'm sorry, Derek.
So besides dealing with the beast that they're some trash talking, whatever. What do you do to maintain prolific and working? As far as is it networking? Is it constantly selling yourself? having more
Networking's
projects
good.
together?
Networking's good, but I know a lot of people who network a hell of a lot more than they work. And I think if you're just good at what you do, and people know that you're good at what you do because you're showing it, people will keep hiring you. But like, you get more work when you're working. So even if, like you were saying, like if you wanted to like make up your own movie, oh, I'm in production on freaking Santa's balls, and da, 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 you'll get more work knowing that there's another job. It's a weird karmic thing.
Yeah, it is.
They
It
wanna
really
know
is.
you're
Like, once
working.
I started really focusing only on like my acting career, I was just getting more offers, booking more stuff. It is
For sure.
in the universe. I can see that, and definitely showing up on time and doing a good job and being friendly all help too.
Staying longer than an hour.
And making friends with the second AD or the first AD is also
And not
good.
sleeping with the director.
And not.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. I'm not talking about you. Adina never sleeps with directors. I'm talking about him.
Tim sleeps with directors.
There's nothing.
Whoa. This has just gotten way out of control.
We love you.
But I have
You
more
know we
questions. I just want to ask you lots of questions.
Okay.
I want to
stalking.
ask a question because you were just talking about people are going to look up your IMDb, and I'm getting all these like mixed things about it because at first I was so concerned about getting my IMDb credit and having more credits and all this crap, and then I was having a lot of problems with that stuff anyway, and a bunch of my sort of actor friends who are really involved in the industry and working a lot were like, oh, people worry way too much about that. They worry about their credits and all of this too much, and people really don't care about what you have on there, like honestly. So
I don't know how true that is.
okay,
I'm with you on that. I've heard mixed things as well.
yeah,
I think the people who say that are people who don't have a lot of stuff on their thing, or just not as much good stuff. Because you could have 1,000 credits
well, I
on
have a whole bunch
IMDb.
of crappy things on there.
Well, no, I'm just saying you could have a bunch of credits on IMDb, but if it's all like student short film or in pre-production, post-production, but nothing's out, then that's gonna look a little. Or if it's a bunch of shit that's like uncredited, like that's one thing that I have heard that casting director, like you'll have like, oh, I was in Iron Man 3 and fucking the Avengers and all this other stuff, and then it's like uncredited next to your name. That looks bad.
Yeah,
But
okay, seeing that.
I've never heard a casting director tell me that they didn't like people with credits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously they want to see that you're doing things, but I mean, I was just wondering if it's like, I mean, obviously when you're first starting out, it's not like you're booking, well, for most people, you're not booking like, things that are, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
that was
for
the
sure,
right way to
for
say
sure.
it. It's
But
not like they're
you
impressive.
use it. It's a tool that you utilize.
It's not like the credits
doing
are
this for
impressive.
men,
Does
eat
that
this
make sense?
food.
They're just credits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like, you know what I mean? What I'm
Like bathroom attendant and not like principal. Like if once you start getting more
Numbers.
leading roles, start trying to drop
Weed
those
those off.
off.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I've heard too.
I know that you can do that, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But at least on your headshots, like when you're going to auditions, like don't ever have any of that stuff on it.
Oh, really?
Like any of the like, oh, I played the girl with the tits in Piranha 3 Double D. Like that's not helpful. You know what I'm saying?
Because
So-
I was thinking it's like it's better to have it on there to show that you're doing something than to have nothing on it.
I'm eating a messy sandwich, and
No,
okay.
it's okay.
We're not letting you
I know your
eat.
sandwich is cold. I always thought
So,
it was
like-
the first thing.
I'm a casting director. You're coming in on an audition. You have your headshot or whatever, and it says you were in Piranha 3 Double D, VHS 2, all this stuff. I see those titles. I know those movies. I'm like, oh, what did you do in VHS 2? And you're like, oh, I was naked and I got done from behind, like off camera as the camera was panning. I'm like, oh, that must have been a real hard stretch as an actor, to do that. Oh, you were in Piranha 3 Double D. What'd you do there? Oh, I was in a bikini and I jumped up and down in slow motion when the fish came. You know, it just people are asking you questions. You have FaceTime and you're blowing it with all these things. So if you want to put one of those on there, just so you could jump in and then go, oh yeah, you know, I do a bunch of stuff like that every once in a while, and I was in this and this and this and this like that, but you know, most of my work is I'm this kind of actor, blah blah blah. You know, just don't fill your resume up with I was the titty girl in something. I don't know if you do that. I'm just saying that's what
That's all my roles, damn it.
No, I'm just saying like there's a lot of that.
Yeah, taking. I did like I was a beach girl in like this movie that's coming out that is like pretty big feature or whatever, and I put that on everything because I was like it's Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, so I'm
That's
like
cool.
fuck, I'm like putting that. You know, I was
Yeah.
there. I got a credit. You know, I mean, I didn't have a speaking role. Obviously, I was a beach girl, like whatever, but I still like put it on there because I did it. You know. But I have heard a lot of mixed things about like having those on a resume or having things like that on your IMDb, and you know.
If it's not something that you could pull off and put on a reel, it's probably not something you want to like promote. You know, like if you don't have any lines in it, and you don't have any like good anything in it, it's not something that you're gonna.
Okay.
I don't know
So
if you guys
maybe
know.
for
'Cause
now, like
it's
keep
just
my
that-
crappy ones, and then as
Let
I
me
get better
paint a
stuff,
picture.
just
Let me paint a picture for you
weed
here.
them out.
There's an actress that I work with that is in. She's later on in life. Okay, she's much older, more mature than everybody. She's been acting since like the late 70s. She still only gets stripper, prostitute, bikini something roles. I mean, she looks good. Like she has work, you know. She
So
looks
she's
good.
been put
But
into
that's
that. That's all
yeah,
she
that's
gets.
all she gets. But a lot of that has to do with how she. Yeah, because she wants more. But in all of her headshots and all of her pictures on Facebook, it's her in a bikini, like or something like that. And that's what she's going to get offered if that's what she's doing.
She's selling herself
So-
as that. So that's what she does.
Exactly.
She knows it works. She's selling it.
Yeah. Well, no, but yes, she wants more. She wants to be like the mom or like something like
You
that.
have
But
to project what you want
Right, yeah.
people to see.
Nobody down here can hear you, but they're afraid to say anything, so I'll say it.
oh, it's okay.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Tell me they can't hear you. and I'm like,
Okay.
You should tell him.
Okay. I was saying a lot of words that had with women parts, and I didn't want to project that towards that.
Words with women parts.
Yeah.
Discussing being like typecast.
So,
Okay,
yes.
so probably just, I mean, for now, I'm like keep the, you know, crappy kind of things that are not as great of parts because, I mean, mainly that's all that I had right now. And then, you know, like weed those out as more things come in.
Weed them out as you can. Unless,
Like, I don't know if it makes a difference, but like for me, I have so much stuff on IMDb that is just kind of there.
Yeah.
But on my resume, I have the legit
The
stuff.
main stuff. that's
Like,
good.
I mean, if you are proud of the beach girl bit, you have it on your resume. As long as you like have the meaty stuff on your resume too, you're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
honestly, I have
don't
not
have any
actually.
new stuff. Like, I'm new, you know.
You
and,
got
like,
to hang out with Rob Williams. That's me.
yeah, that's another thing. Like putting that on my IMDb or my resume. I have a character name and I'm on that show and I'm in the episode, but I didn't have lines. But I want to put that on
That's
my
fine.
thing because I was on that show.
Right, but like
Let me
it's
pick Creep Creepersin, I guess. Okay, so for someone like Marco, who is trying to experience more stuff, like yesterday was the first short he worked on, Creep, and like this is his first LBFA meeting. What would you give him as advice to expose himself to film industry stuff and how to get more work or
Yeah, that's a great
what do you want to do?
new actors starting out.
General acting.
Like, do you want to work on the crew or do you want to act?
I don't mind working on the crew.
Yeah, advice for you.
Some people like central casting. They do a lot of extra stuff on big movies, which is why there's a lot of people who get those uncredited parts. And I don't know how often they do it. I think they do it every 6 months, but they like collect a new roster of people, and it's like $25, and you go in and you get your picture taken and fill out some stuff. No,
It's free now, and it's 3 times a week. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's free.
that's awesome. So now there's no excuse. So go, and then every morning you call, right? Is they still do it like that?
Right across the road is a call-in service that'll call for you.
extra.
But that costs money.
But that costs money.
That does cost money, but it's in
It's worth
relation
it.
to how much work they get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Any calling service. There are tons of calls.
Yeah, if
They're
they
management
And they're right across the street.
if they get you 3 or more jobs a month, it's $80. If they get you 2 jobs a month, it's $40. If they get you 1 or none, it's $14 a month. So it averages out because if you're getting 3 or more, then you made probably $400 or so dollars. So the $80 is worth it.
Well, sometimes they call you by themselves.
Like if you fit something really particular.
I think I was,
Because like I was in the first 3 seasons of Sons of Anarchy, and I got that on that. I'm just kidding, I wasn't. But I just figured I could say that and no one.
Dynasty, right?
Yeah. I'm the stunt beard. Yeah.
stuff here.
Stunt beard my end.
But yeah, so that's a really good way to just start getting on sets and seeing how they work and getting paid to sit around and read a book and eat food. So that's not bad. For crew work, I would go on Mandy.com or Craigslist. And Mandy's just like the girl's name, Mandy.com. And just look for PA work. Like, just like I need a production assistant, PA, or if anyone needs a grip with no experience and they're not expecting you to know all their stupid code words and union jargon, and they're willing to like teach you.
Help you out.
Mandy, yeah. And you could get some good work, and I mean, there's enough stuff going on here that if you're not picky, you should be working every day. And if you took like 3 months to just build your resume, like in 3 months your resume would look like you're a fucking journeyman. You know, if you just said, okay, I don't care how much I'm going to get paid, I'm going to live in my car or my mom's house or something for the next 3 months. I'm just going to bust my ass on everything I can and get this bitchin' resume. And then that should be pretty cool. And then if you do the grip stuff, you'll start getting to know all the rental houses in town and the people there. Start building connections there because those are really important to have. So, because if you don't know the people at the rental houses, they fuck you. And you don't want to be fucked in this world. Fucking's for when you get home. Yeah. Or unless it's the director, right?
No, y'all don't go
Does
there.
anyone else have any other questions? I got one more question, and we'll probably close out the talking portion. Any other questions? Jeff, go ahead.
One quick one, I promise. Do you have, like, and you said you go from your script, your actors inspire your script, but I'm sure you still, like, do auditions. Do you have any pet
I
peeves
honestly,
with auditions?
yeah, I hate auditions. I think it's a fucking pain in the ass.
Pet peeve is audition.
I would rather hang out with a couple people or the people who I want, like if I have an idea of who I want together, and just like go get coffee or something with them and just watch them interact.
You're very informal as far as that, the selection.
Yeah, because like seriously, perfect example, we did this one movie that we shot in Big Bear for a week, and this girl came into the audition and was amazing in the audition. Got to set and everyone wanted to kill her. I wanted to fucking strangle her so hard.
Was she a bitch?
She was such a pain in the ass, dude. She was just like, no one liked her. She was just shitty to be around. She was stealing tampons or something like that from another girl without telling them about it. And then that caused, no, anyway. So anyway, auditions suck if you're gonna have to be with those people for a long period of time. If it's something where you like need somebody to come in for one day on something that shoots local, yeah, have some auditions if you want to see a bunch of people. But if you don't want to do that and you're going away or you're going to be somewhere and you have to live with that person or work with them for more than a couple days, you should definitely spend time with them before anything.
We're so thankful for coming out.